Good morning. So today we are going to start our lecture with the topic methodologies of environment impact assessment. So in the previous lectures, we have seen what is meant by environmental impact assessment, what are the different stages of environmental impact assessment, why environmental impact assessment is done, and also what are the different indicators or indexes which are used in assessing the impact of certain project on the environment. Okay. So now you have one brief idea about the topic of environment impact assessment, right? So let us start with the methodologies of environment impact assessment. Methodology of EIA. So whenever we are speaking about the methodologies of environment impact assessment, any methodology, there are different methodologies available or different methodologies adopted for carrying out the environment impact assessment. Okay, but all these methodologies serve a common purpose. All these methodologies function for a common purpose or for a common objective, right? Okay, so there are different things which are dealt with the different available methodologies of environment impact assessment. Now let us see what are the things which are dealt with, okay, or what an EIA should be effectively dealing with certain things. What are those things or what are those parameters which are effectively dealt by a environment impact assessment? Okay, so let us study. First of all, an EIA should be dealing with impact identification, impact measurement, and impact interpretation. And secondly, an EIA should be dealing with impact communication to the information users. So these are the two objectives of carrying out a EIA, or any methodology which is being adopted for carrying out an environment impact assessment should be effectively dealing with these two things. What is the point A? The point A is impact identification, measurement, and impact interpretation. So first point is consisting of three parts. First of all, impact identification. Okay, here you can see that there is impact identification. So what is done in impact identification for any project? What is the environmental impact on the possible impacts, okay, or on the possible chances of impact happening? Identify what are the particular impacts. Second one is impact measurement. We have to measure the different impact. First step, you have identified the impact. Of the different identified impacts, you need to carry out the measurement so that to identify which is more severe. Then third, you have to interpret the impact, that is impact interpretation. So these are the different methodologies of EIA: impact identification, impact measurement, and impact interpretation. So first of all, this is the first step in the methodology of EIA: impact identification, impact measurement, and impact interpretation. After these things are done, secondly, the result of these things, you have identified the impacts are being measured, and the result or the impact is being interpreted. Now, this interpreted data regarding the measured identified impact need to be communicated. Okay, there are a set of people involved in the impact assessment who is dealing with data, who need to get this information and process them so that the next step may be forecasting, maybe concluding about the sustainability of a project, right? So these data interpretation is very much required for this bunch of people who are working on this data. So the impact information need to be communicated to these people. So these are the different things which an effective dealing should be happening in an environment impact assessment: impact identification, impact measurement, and impact interpretation, and impact communication to information users. Is it clear? That's it. So now we have seen what is the different things which are effectively dealt with by carrying out an impact assessment study. Now, we have seen what are the things that are to be done. There are different methods. There are 6 methods identified, okay, from the literature available and from the different case studies available. 6 methods of environment impact assessment have been identified so far. Okay, now we have to see what are the 6 methods, and we have to see in detail about each of these methods. So let us start. Okay. Methods of EIA. What are the 6 methods available? A, ad hoc method. B, overlays method. C, checklist method. It's not checklist, it is checklist method. D, network method. E, metrics method. And finally, F is computer aided method. These are the different methods of EIA available. So what are the different methods of EIA available? EIA methods can be classified or can be listed as the 6 methods. What are they? Ad hoc method. First of all, ad hoc method, then overlays method, checklist method, network method, metrics method, and computer aided method. These are the 6 methods available for environment impact assessment. Now we have to see separately these methods one by one. Okay. So first of all, let us go on to the first method, that is the impact method. Sorry, ad hoc method. Ad hoc method. What is done in ad hoc method is, ad hoc method, we have to identify the broad areas of possible impact. Broad areas of possible impact. What do you mean by broad areas of possible impact? You are not going specifically, okay? You are working as a whole system, and you are broadly identifying you are identifying the areas of broad impact. You are not going separately into the details of each and every area. For example, you are identifying the broad areas like impacts on flora and fauna. What are the impacts caused to flora and fauna of that particular region, right? So that is impact on flora and fauna. Also, you can identify another broad area like impact on lake and forest. If there is a lake in the nearby area, if there is a forest in the nearby area, what are the impact cost? So ad hoc method, the name ad hoc itself suggests that there is no much detailing, right? There is no much detailing. It is a temporary kind of method. The broad areas of possible impacts need to be found out, and the broad areas of possible impact determination is like finding out what is the impact on flora and fauna of that particular area, then what is the impact on lake and forest. Okay, so these are the 2 ways in which broad area, sorry, spelling mistake, broad areas of possible impact, impact on flora and fauna, impact on lake and forest. Okay, now there is no such specific parameter identification. No specific parameter is identified. I told that you are just randomly or you are just broadly identifying the areas of impact. You are not going into the specific detail. For example, impact on lake and environment. You have identified that there is impact occurring on lake and forest. You are not identifying what are the different impact occurring. Okay, is the dissolved oxygen level present in the water body affected? Is the air pollution caused? Is there a chance of forest fire? Such things are not considered, right? You're broadly identifying, but there is no assessment of specific parameters happening in this ad hoc method. And here it is only rough assessment. It is a rough assessment method. We can write it as a rough assessment method. And also the experts can identify the nature of impact. The nature of impact can be identified like there is no impact, then short or long-term impact, no impact, short or long-term impact, and reversible or irreversible impact. Okay, so this is the ad hoc method. You are identifying broad areas of possible impact, like impact on flora and fauna, impact on lake and forest, etc. There is no specific parameter being identified. Instead, you are doing the rough assessment, and the nature of impact can be identified, like either it is no impact, or you can tell it as a short-term impact or a long-term impact is happening, a reversible or irreversible impact is happening. Okay, so that is all about the ad hoc method. Okay. Now, next method, you can write it as overlay method. What is happening in overlay method? You have a set of transparent maps. The name overlay suggests that you have something and you are laying it one above the other. Okay, the analysis is done by using some kind of overlay method. So a set of transparent maps, and these transparent maps will be showing the physical, ecological, aesthetical characteristics of the area, and these maps are overlaid. So by overlaying these maps, what is obtained? A map of an area of a preferred variable will be obtained. Okay, so this is another method, overlay method. What is done? A set of transparent maps giving physical, social, ecological, aesthetical characteristics. A set of transparent maps giving physical, social, ecological, aesthetical characteristics of area are identified, and overlay these maps. If these maps are overlaid, what will happen? What will be obtained? If these maps are overlaid, you will be able to obtain the areas of preferred variable and geographical location. Okay, so that is about the overlay method. And this can be used especially in case of highway projects. In highway projects, you can identify about the feasibility of the project by using a overlay method. Okay, so that is the two methods. We have covered two methods. First one is the ad hoc method, and second one is we have covered two methods. First one is the ad hoc method and second one is the overlay method.